huge best-of-5 grand final here, so we have no idea how long it'll go, but I'm doubtful it'll be an 0-3 performance again here from Vitality.
Well, let's buckle in, everybody. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a best-of-5 finals. Ooh, between a lot of players with a lot of skill. But it's KDN up first with nothing as of yet here. Falling away from the bathrooms, and already Heroic, who had gone for that early B play, justify the three-man setup on the A site because TSS and Co have worked their way through short B. A very patient position here from Apex, hanging out the discotheque. Who clears this? Nobody. And for that reason, TSS dies.
Well, that is a big scalp. A huge read on both sides, right? They go for the rarer push through Monster, plus Apex holding back to counter it. Mind games already here in round 1. And an answer back from KDN as he takes down Shocks on long. Bomb's still stuck out in this default. I think Vitality were really hoping to hold on to this 5v4 for a few more moments.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Definitely could have benefited from it. Smoking a flash on Masuda. Damn, Masuda. Has he ever looked good throughout this event? No signs of stopping or slowing down. Vitality now, 3 players encroaching on that long. But again, there's just this one member from Heroic sitting on this A site. If he doesn't get much done, and he may not with that flashbang being thrown over. Yeah, perfectly on the mark. Just as perfect as zywoo's one tap. Now 20 seconds, bombs planted. Easy. And not so easy of a retake here for Heroic. But you know they'll try their hands. They've got the kit for it. They've got the smoke on niko. That could counter out some of the bathroom's control. But can they counter zywoo? He is already oh so close. I love how the rest of Vitality is like, zywoo, stay there. We're just going to go back and try and hold on to this round. You may or may not kill everybody on your own, but he's going to play it on his own. RPK able to serve up a bit of a distraction. That sets him up oh so well. And it's a 3-piece for zywoo to start.
We know the round's kind of a wash when KDN's stuck there on the site by himself, hoping that they don't flash him, but of course they do, and the trades come down. A great start here for Vitality, and that's an IGL win, right, where Heroic won a gamble stack. It's a feature of their game, but they picked the wrong gamble, and it could be an ever-important pistol round. We'll find out. 5 smokes here bought for Heroic. In the following, they've got Deagles to play with, and we'll find out what their idea is here for this deco. We know they always buy Deagles. Not always this many smokes, though.
Contact off short, not yet found. Ooh, zywoo and Shocks working those Galeels. Frag grenade is fantastic. Apex throws his back the other direction, but it doesn't find anybody. And maybe a quick redirection here from Vitality. Connector completely open to the rotate, of course. The only defense from that A site would be TSS kind of peering down long. Bomb patiently back in T-spawn. No rush here for the last minute of this second round.
Yeah, they can chill. The problem is 2 smokes. That's 30 seconds off the clock if they want to scare them away from B. And we've got one of the 2 smokes on the B site. So KDN, is he going to respond to this nade? Looks like Monster's the focus, so it'll be all on niko.
niko goes down with nothing. Therefore, should be that second round coming in for Vitality. A quick conversion.
So, what is this map about? Why are Vitality so good at this map? I think on the CT side, it's a combination of zywoo and Shocks playing the A site. I think you have the best player on the team in zywoo, opping, controlling the A site, and then you have Shocks, one of the most comfortable riflers to play by himself, floating around the bathrooms in a lot of these open angles. Conversely, Heroic are also very good at this map. And their combination is KDN, who is the best performer on Heroic in the last month versus top 5 teams by an enormous margin. He's opping, controlling the A half of the map. And TSS, as we saw, Scrawny, was one of the most amazing connector players in recent memory. You know, new addition to the team, recently did a demo analysis on TSS because of how good he was at this event, playing connector on OVERPASS. So these are the 2 I think big things to focus on when we look at Heroic CT side versus Vitality's.
Yeah, agree. And I think that it's for that reason. If I had to take an early guess now, it's that, you know, this B site I don't think has a shining star in comparison to Cadian up top and Testes in the middle. So we'll see. You know, Vitality early on in the T side, still yet to go up versus the weapons. So enjoy this while they can. Oh, damn. That frag grenade right on the money. Cadian, lucky to be alive, really.
This feeling out period. Of course, it's a marathon, right? They've got a lot of maps to go no matter what. And in these early rounds, you know, win a pistol, don't get anti-eco, play it slow enough, you don't make any huge mistakes. Don't start your confidence off on the wrong foot. Apex will be the first one to tell you that a lot of his performances ride on emotions. Shox is maybe the most emotional player in France, which I think by default makes him the most emotional player in the world, right, Connor?
Yeah, should be. Should be. It flows. And, well, starting to bubble up the emotions because this isn't going the way they had hoped for. Vitality losing out versus Testes's 1D. And then Apex goes over there to try and replace Shox. And sure enough, he also gets blown away. Now, Stan has taken the AK, and he continues on this flank. It's kind of flustering Masuda to move forward, and seeing his two teammates are clearing out this A site and finding nothing, they will at least have a post plant. That I do not doubt. It's what happens afterwards that there's still questions to be answered. Heroic, they've got two guns, Launders.
It looks so uncomfortable. I don't know if
right?
Am I crazy? Or we see a lot of gun switching, a lot of bumping around to each other. If there were any CTs on the A side, it felt like there were a million windows of timing there for them to get a kill, but they can rest easy. It was a stack over towards B. Heroic, once again, we're just hoping and assuming that they would rocket back into them like they did on that pistol round where they lost the opening frag. And it looks like the dust is settling. Tassis will go down after getting one. Overall, a successful round for both Heroic and Vitality from different perspectives, right? Some good damage done by Heroic, good bomb plant and round win by Vitality. But yeah, we saw that RPK looked uncomfortable. zywoo looked uncomfortable. It didn't feel like there was a ton of leadership in those last few moments.
Yeah, it was a little bumpy. I think that's actually the best word for it. Bumping literally into one another at times. And we got to shake off the jitters. You're 3 rounds deep. Things are going well. They also have to find that comfort zone. But that's a weird smoke. That actually somehow bounces back into the face of Cadian. First fight happens down here, short B. Nice by Borup to continue that spray through the tunnel. As Masuda opens up the squeaky door, he is met by a face full of M4. And a 5v2 in the opening 20 seconds. Apex claws one back off of the barrels. He has a lot of attention being turned his way here because the 3 remaining members of Heroic at this B site are looking pretty fired up, looking pretty hungry for their kill. You know, they got that bloodlust after gunning down the 2 players in short and slapping back Masuda. He was trying to find some kind of a trade, didn't come easily, and I don't think it gets any easier either for Apex here and zywoo. Sure, they have the utility, but unless zywoo goes absolutely huge, as he can, don't doubt him for a second, this is going to be looking like Heroic win their first gun round.
Yeah, it was a really messy start to the round. Shox comes out first off a best spawn. No teammate close enough behind him. Underestimated how far the CTs could have come out. And then the late flashes from Heroic really screwed them over. So it felt like even if Shox got a kill, he would have got traded right away. So he was going to get flashed into the site to take a peek. They've alarmed everybody here, but we'll see if that's to their benefit.
Yeah, the Wasps start swarming. That Molotov is excellent. But unfortunately for Vitality, zywoo's dropped and Apex was so low the entire time, couldn't even find either of those CTs as they just ran away. So Heroic, welcome to the scoreboard. And with 4 survivors, that's an excellent first round to add to the tally.
You were saying Borup, he gets around, wraps around that smoke on short B, and then the late flash to make sure nobody can trade him as well. So Heroic, good protocols to make sure that nobody was even in danger when they went out for short B control. Now we're going to have another default. This time it's going to involve short B again, actually. Shock's going to try his hand at it. Mac 10 out first. No resistance.
Little boost over top of the wall. RPK's looking for it.
Oh boy.
Does he pop his head? Flash goes over for the peek, and yeah, there it is, RPK. Because of the smoke, had enough cover, and you saw niko fixate over towards Squeaky Door instead. So just having enough pieces in place for Vitality as zywoo catches Tesses on that long play. You know, we kind of praised Tesses in Connector, but I would also argue he's just pretty proactive all over this upper side of the map.
He's not going to push long like that very often, but yeah, you're right. Like, he's going to, once in a while, awareness will be worth its weight in gold. And that's why we saw a little bit of paranoia from Vitality on that NT-eco, because Heroic have this way of getting in your head in a similar way to FURIA or to Fnatic. They can kind of appear everywhere on the map when you do your best to read them. But at this moment, zywoo working up solo outside long. Cadian will probably take him down in just a few moments. And that'll force Vitality to now think about committing to a site.
And B is there for the choosing, but is it there for the taking? Got two defenders very much kerneled up, down, able to get the first. RPK was burning, and Borup heating up. He gets himself 2 kills, drops Shox to 37 HP. We're on for the clutch. 15 seconds left over as Shox makes a ton of sound, and he's wary about Cadian's op. He knows he's coming from the A site, but Cadian better have a little bit of timing. 10 seconds left. Shox just saw him. He's going to plant it once and go for the duel. But Cadian's so ready, and with the USP of all things.
I love how Cadian plays it. Doesn't even bother taking the scope up in heaven like some people would do, looking for a very low percentage shot. Instead, just commits very hard to finding a post-plant situation. And I'm sure knows that Shox spotted him. So strafes out farther than Shox realizes he would, and does it with the USP. A lot of confidence there from Cadian.
Cadian, wait out the molly.
Cadian in this last month sporting a 1.30 rating versus top 5 teams, by far and away the highest.
Grouped up well enough, but I believe Heroic now very well aware of exactly what's about to happen here. I think the utility indicates just how aware and prepared they are for those positions on Vitality. Go ahead and try. You know, Deagles and P250s. Not necessarily chump guns. zywoo's got a little bit of a gap here. Tesses better not hyperextend. Ooh, predicts the double peek. It's the full house between Tesses and niko.
Well, that's how it goes in your head, but it almost never goes like that when you're on CT side. Instead, what happens is your offer gets 1 deep in the back, everybody gets 4 on the side, the bomb goes down, and it ends up being a really raggedy 1v1. But that's Heroic showing us how that setup is supposed to go. And if Vitality could see what we saw, of course, they would have tried B. But yeah, Heroic laid the trap there by not playing forward in the bathrooms, and it was the right thing to do. Full-on rifles here into round 7. Shox lurking out towards B. No short control this time. Same Molotovs every round from Heroic. Love this setup.
Slight variation. Yeah, I was just about to say, man, I always got to enjoy it. Not even the boost either, right? But just playing on top of these shelves.
Yep.
So sometimes you'll see an actual boost and kind of the second player is preoccupied with standing in the middle of the open. This time it's a safer one.
The last time they did this, they didn't have niko top bathrooms in the game we watched. So this is the insurance policy for if he has to rotate out.
Ooh. Cadian. Oh, loses his teammate, but Masuda not quite aware that... Oh, Cadian's on a tear. 3 frags for him. Long man gonna get hurt out by niko. That's an easy execution into the side of Apex's head, and Shox stranded from the B site. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
That's, you know, I think, yeah, that's such a beautiful adjustment to have they have the double stair setup with the op, but then they have niko top bathrooms. There's no way they would have anticipated that. And it's such a better setup than having the 3-2 in the B site and have everyone scramble, rotate through CT spawn to get to A. You know. And of course, it's just because Cadian does so well in the stairs that this is now a 4-on-1 situation. But what a round by Cadian. 4 frags in total. I think a great setup and a great performance individually there.
Yep, absolutely taking over this deep position. Little quick snappy shot down. I mean, the fact that Masuda's not quite clearing all those corners is, I think, what really allows Kadian to get out of there. That would have been the most difficult shot to hit had Masuda been fighting back. But difficult, bout of communication there for Vitality. The first fun fact of the grand finals, going rogue. Kadian is on a 10-map positive KD streak for the first time since he was on Rogue. He used to play with Hiko and Rikke and Vice. Ooh, the good old days. Now turned into the great days.
I like these days more.
Yeah, I was going to say golden age for one Kadian Casper Moeller. Good to see him.
He's been a real globetrotter when it comes to finding lineups to play on.
Yeah. Okay. He's always committed, man. Nobody could question that.
All right, for aggressive setup on A. So much info to be gained. Vitality have no idea, but Heroic know.
One of TessS's trickiest positions. Will occasionally throw himself behind that fountain. And in this case, he offered them a gun, but it was booby-trapped. niko dunks that frag grenade as they try to pick up the M4. Shox will get it, but it costs them RPK. How tragic.
Right, reassessment. We're going to go for the long control setup. Everyone knows that this is what the CTs will try to do. Whether you can stop it, that's a different question. They're sort of in the middle of the fishbowl now. Vitality trying to swim up to the A site.
Whoa, timing. They find Kadian mid-transition, then down goes down. It's all on niko, very much so. He sees the player in the distance going for that bomb plant, but can't quite peek because zywoo's well-equipped with that M4. He's able to best him. Borup finds both the frags, however, as he comes up from that B site. Borup with multi-kills in crucial moments. Starts of rounds and ends of rounds. It's a 5th to the board for Heroic.
Yo, an enormous save here by the B rotator and Borup. Very nicely done. He's not been amazing. I think of all the players right now, it's RBK and Borup for the two teams who recently have just been not been incredible. I think coming into Cologne, he had something like the best HSP in the world outside of one player or something like that. But it seems like the inconsistency is sort of there right now for Borup. So great to see him performing well. Nice clutch. Round to his name. 5-3 here for Heroic. They start to get on their feet after losing that opening pistol round. Shox out to short B again. That worked out well last time. Well, one of 2 times.
Comes with a price tag.
I think this is the least interesting of the setups we've seen from Heroic. They don't have a lot of information. One aggressive angle at Kadian has this nice line down to the stairs walkout, but they don't have a lot of info on A for the rotations. They're going to rely heavily on these players to simply frag out from within the site. But
okay,
I do like this monster. Oh my god, it's down. That's free.
Drops the bomb and then has that second CT to peek. Borup going to go down empty-handed. Hot or cold, hit or miss. Masuda rounding the pillar. Takes niko out of the situation, and TessS is caught in connector, but Kadian dunks one on RPK. A 1 versus 3 clutch for Kadian. 40 seconds. Bomb currently down in an awkward position.
Oh, what's
play here, Launders?
That's interesting. Kadian heard Shox running out of short B and thought that there might be a fake out over to the A site, so now he's stuck playing passively. I think Shox might have accidentally had him.
Now with that flash, it kind of announced it. He's going to creep wide. Already out into the open here. Tucks back. They may not have anticipated him crossing. They're very fixated on heaven. Oh, he peeks wide. Sees just the head. Misses the shot. Now at this point, Team Vitality just looking to anchor on their bomb site. And maybe Kadian goes. Oh! A flick up that gives Kadian a very real chance. But Masuda's going to drop him out of the situation. What a shot on site.
We're going to have to send that to the replays. Cue it up, please, because even though he doesn't win that, I think all the viewers won by being able to watch that moment live. That was such an insane shot. Really didn't even feel like he was within the scope. Oh my god. would have loved to see him win that round, of course. But that's what it takes to end the streak. Credit to Vitality. Nice attack on B.
Wow. Okay, those are the kinds of kills that kind of wake you up a little.
Crazy.
Yeah. More of that, please. From anybody in this server.
Down went back into 2 ops right away, but he's on the A site this time. Very weak towards Monster. It didn't even work for them when they were double strength on Monster last round. However, they have 4 players back of the site. Idiot rotation. Oh, he doesn't get the hit.
Nope, but they are still here. Like you said, numbers for the CT side. Shox and Apex, though, ripping them apart. Limb from limb. And Stound, I mean, this is clear. He's already calling it quits. Team Vitality sinking into that B site to tie this game at 5 apiece. The 3-0 start for the Frenchman. 5 in a row for Heroic. Looking to be a commandeering bout of momentum. But that's stopped now. As Vitality will win 2 in a row. And Stound trying to keep what he can. So far, so good. Of course, the coffers bottomed out here for Heroic. So this op is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, I think he's a bit concerned knowing that they'll like to hunt here, but doesn't want to run too far and end up getting flanked. So Heroic lose this round. They had Stound alone on A, 4 on B. Vitality worked their way in. If Cadian hits a shot, we've got slightly different round. There's no one else there on short B, and Cadian could have potentially taken cover at the sandbags and gave him hell on the Monster exec, but it's another round in a row. Vitality confidently come out of Monster and get the trades that they need. I like that we're seeing more and more teams jump through the headshot barrel smoke that everybody's throwing and attacking the site that way, because that's something that made this B site really easy to hold for the CT. So disrespecting it, I think, is really important. Sound's going to keep this top and look for an aggressive opening one more time.
Run boost over. Nobody there to actually keep him held in. So a precautionary task, but still one that could have net him an opening. He will be tagged up down to 44, and they know where that sniper is, so I wouldn't be shocked to see Vitality really rock this boat the other way.
That position outside B is totally different now that you can run boost across. Like, people, now that, I mean, you always could, but now that people are realizing you can. Because if you're holding to see if someone crosses, and suddenly they can just appear on the left side, you can't really hold that anymore with just a rifle, which used to be the bread and butter of the B lurker. Made Shox's job even more dangerous.
Shox, who is still doing his job, but has nothing to do, as Heroic are all moving upwards, trying to throw these measly USPs into the mix. RPK cutting down Cadian. Frag grenade could be great. Instead, it's good. Obviously, a 6th round here for Vitality, as it should have always been. You know, Stound not finding anything on Monster. There was that one round where 4 players faced him, and he got 1 but was overrun. An affinity for the B site. Ooh. Has bode well for Vitality to crack back onto the scoreboard. This one round successful at the A site, obviously just versus the pistols, and even then it started closer towards B. You know, they got their confirmation when A was so clear. So, welcome Vitality to the lead. It is a 6-5 lead, so a minimal margin, but still, it is the Frenchman in control.
Apex is becoming one of the best callers in the game right now. It's awesome to see, because he never struck me as a calling type. I mean, I think a lot of people looked at him as, you know, he's an entry fragger, he's impulsive, he's emotional. These don't seem like qualities of a good IGL. I'm watching his interview with Thorin and Moses, talking about him in his new role. You can hear a lot of the maturity, like so much thought that's gone into everything that he's done with this roster. And we're seeing right before our eyes the results meet that deep thought halfway.
Are they going to push towards Shox? No. There was a chance. Obviously, 2 players tucked here into short water. Aye, Borup. Headshot deep into connector. Masuda removed. Little contact being made here, but I think we should be focusing on this. Cadian hunting an op kill inside of the A bathrooms. There is another sniper on the other side. He could hear the shot, nearly caught in the open by Apex's lurk out long. Here comes Tesses as he trades back versus RPK. The Danish snipers down. Niko now over top of APC looking for the contact. Apex is going to feel as though he can swing wide, and Tesses clips him. So a double man advantage here for Heroic, and 40 seconds for zywoo to hunt his opening, to hunt his prey. Frag grenades on full display. It's a nice fireworks show, but there's not much substance behind it. He still sits pretty on 90 HP, and now it's time. zywoo let them cool off. He's going to clear out into the corners, but it's Niko yet again holding him back on the cusp of this A site. zywoo in the 1v4, 10 seconds left. All the CTs starting to run in on him. Heroic tying at 6.
Clutch plays there by Tessis from the site could have easily fallen apart, even though they got the early 5v4. Timeout call for Vitality. They lose the opening player. Apex drops a key chance on someone backside, and Tessis capitalizes on him later. And wrapping up this half, it's tight. I think the scoreline accurately represents how well these teams are playing. And yeah, it has had a it did require a pistol round for Vitality to have a little boost to get to a tied scoreline, but they still are looking good. Vitality, the easy path. Vitality had played under half of the rounds Heroic have at DreamHack Open Fall before today.
Sure.
Right. I mean, that's so lower bracket will really that's how you earn your stripes.
Yeah, you don't get the map advantage, but you also don't have to play against fatigue. It's a hell of a run Heroic have had, especially when you look at the opposition they've eliminated. Tessa's going to try it again.
It would be the perfect revenge match here for Vitality, who got swept by Heroic at Cologne. Map wins in that best of 5.
Yeah, getting 3-0'd in a BO5 can't be up there on the best of feelings. Tesses does not extend around long A. We'd seen him gone for this once. It's not too often. But he will play it patient. Apex comes wide, and Tesses actually dies here. And Cadian, oh man, he should be in a world of hurt. So many players just swarming in on him. He thought maybe he could answer that call to action at a distance. But then more enemies were even closer. Niko, he has had some substance on these A holds. Now would be the time to do it yet again. We see that bomb starting to trail in through washrooms towards this A site. Niko decides to actually eject, maybe trying to transition into a save, but Shox is going to have none of that. Not if he has it his way. He sees the first head. Quick duck down by Borup. Shox now looking to retreat. Doesn't want to offer up his life either. You know, the economy plays both sides in this round. And Vitality, well, they find this A site for absolutely free. Heroic's hands have been forced. They've got to walk away.
They don't know how they can. Shox is he's a specter haunting them and knows where their position is. Okay, that's it. They try to exit together. They all get punished. That's 3 players that could have gone for the retake that all die to Vitality, who don't lose a single member.
Damn. Not only Shox kind of coming out bat monster and almost rocking them there, but like you said, man, just kind of a ghost in the walls. They were so spooked that they had to go shoulder to shoulder out through short. And even Shox, while he may be instilling fear, it's zywoo to instill the headshots there. Gets 2 of the final 3 frags, bottoms out Heroic. And now they come into this with a nice armada of grenades, but no damage actually up on playgrounds. Masuda gonna swing out with Apex and try to clear this threat, which will work wonders for them. Heroic only down to 3 players, and zywoo catches Cadian in transition, so Heroic with 2 USPs and a frag grenade to try and stave off the 2v4.
And seriously, Vitality started off on the wrong foot, and that second round looked so uncomfortable, even though they won the first 3. And now their T-sides, they're looking a lot more smooth. Entries look good. They had a nice chance, even in a 4v5, their 4v5 chance percentage is very high. The top 3 even coming into this tournament. Heroic still formidable, of course, and it's just the USPs trying to find some kills if they can find them. Vitality probably commit soon. Yeah, I mean getting swept in a series, that'll fire you up. I'd put that up there with, like, I think I'd rather have a car door slammed on my finger than get swept in a best of 5 series. So probably a lot of things that are much worse, or not nearly as bad.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and this also hinges on your memory, but was it Vitality who had the, like, 3rd lowest pistol round win percentage just a couple days ago? Am I thinking of a different team? Because I'm just thinking now, like, how much that actually plays into the favor of Vitality to start this half with that.
It was a team that played against OG, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wish I could ask Elliot. Elliot would know.
I'll find out.
Okay. I've also done the unthinkable and brought up something that, you know, I wasn't sure of. But we'll dive into it. We have time. It's a best of 5. We can do all sorts of digging. All sorts of Counter-Strike archaeology.
Oh, it's Fnatic.
Ah, Fnatic.
We talked
the
about
Swedish
it on Vertigo.
Vitality.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense. So I retract my statement.
Fnatic, so.
8-6. Vitality, clearly with a nice T side to start the grand finals.
Yeah. All right.
Not over yet.
Round 15 is just about telling us, you know, how good they were, basically. Because right now, Vitality, feet on the ground, opening few rounds, streaks for both sides, adjustments looking good, but leaning towards Vitality. And they don't have enough money here, Heroic, for the second op to work with. They also don't have a kit. That's a big concession. Makes things a bit more tense, relying on the holds. Good early nade damage by Cadian. And what was a really strong start by Cadian individually.
Kind of tapered off.
He's hanging out overtime, though, here waiting for this opening kill. Oh, my God. That is so unfortunate. As that smoke dissipates, now, to be fair, they did wait for that smoke to dissipate.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, again. As that long pressure comes in, he has to turn his attention. Now his back's fully exposed to Masuda, but Tesses in from Connector. Hangs on to that man advantage. Cadian good enough to take one with him. Now they have Vitality completely pinched. Can they punch them out? Final round of the first half. It's either ending as close as can be, or Vitality lead by 3. But these CTs yet to find their opening. A frag and a flash exchanged. A second one is oh so blinding. Nice flash usage, but here comes RPK with a trade frag back. The T's, having wrapped around through bathrooms off of the bomb site, now pushes Heroic into the 2 versus 1, and Apex trying to get it done, but that bomb, ooh, he's trying to engulf it in the flames. It lands on top of it and gets Heroic off the defuse. We talked about no kit, and it comes back to cost them. It is Vitality, 9-6 at the end of this first half. Terrorists win. By Vitality in the end of the first half gives them that 3-round lead. Can Heroic puncture through on Overpass? Well, it's time to find out.
It was a gratifying first half to watch, you know, tactically speaking, and we saw Cadian peaking there. We saw Vitality, Apex making some great calls. We got a mixture of defaults on the CT side, a lot of good stuff. Look back on and give us hope for the rest of the series. So hopefully it continues on. It's down. Trying to hold with his crossfire, and it's working out okay.
Shocks just never lets off
far.
the movement.
That guy was on a skateboard sliding through monster.
Oh my God, man. I mean, I get it. Second player behind him's the one that's meant to hit the headshots, and
they always think you're going to strafe back, but what if you never do? What if you never do? Strafe to spawn. He would have kept running to spawn with, you know, 20 bullets shooting all the way to spawn.
It just looks so...
Down would have run out of mouse pad.
Comical.
That was the strategy.
How about Masuda? Here on the barrels.
You don't have a desk pad? Too bad. I'm in spawn.
Down and spawn. Masuda on the hold. Oh, it's labored. And it ain't too pretty. Tesses gonna clear him off of that B bomb site. So man advantage, but here comes the retake, and here comes zywoo. Ah, no plant for you. Tesses Gonna have to clutch this. CT's peeking all over the place, man. They're headhunting, and TSS is fighting back. Apex ends it. A 10th for Vitality. They hit double digits first.
Yeah, it's a close call. It's 2 pistols here for Vitality. They get that 10th, as you point out. And it all starts with this kind of B default. But who to cause problems? zywoo. Should we say zywoo or zywoo? Not zywoo. I'm not saying zywoo, but you can pick between zywoo and zywoo.
Wow.
Wow. The holy smokes. Nectar train. Yeah.
Frag grenade. The old connector push. Connector bathrooms to A. Ooh. Nice little bombus hold here. MP9. Brah! Gets himself 3 kills outside of the connector door. That's an 11th for Vitality. Stacking them up, racking up the cash while they're at it. Some subpar riflemen in those FAMAS, but again, the French and the FAMAS, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's a French gun after all. Now we have Vitality, who a little bit shook about seeing a force buy. Heroic on both sides, oftentimes are buying deagles, T side, CT side. We saw him do it with smokes in the first half, so no surprise. Vitality just want to make sure they win the round as opposed to make as much money as possible. But Heroic, they got the buy coming in, and some FAMAS to fight against.
Like music to my ears. Apex banging the wall and slapping down in the face with it. He drops to 30 HP, but Borup finds the entry, in fact. And they're gonna try again here on Pillar. Bodies lining up, but Apex, oh no, he denies any kind of entry in from short. He's got a teammate by him. He's gonna have to go even bigger, and he dies out to niko. A good attempt at that B hold. It looked like it was gonna be enough, but Heroic forcing the fight. They wanted it, and they took it away from Vitality. Shocks caught down to 19 HP, but still successful in reclaiming that short B position for him. Does he double back onto Monster? That's what Heroic have to ask themselves. And where does zywoo come in from? Answer being graffiti. Whoa. The balls on this man. He just jumps through smoke like it's nobody's business, but they regain vision fast enough, and they are gonna close. Heroic with a 7th, keeping themselves within 4.
The flash, that's an interesting tactic. I mean, it was almost perfect, but I'm not sure they were blind. He threw the flash in, and it mostly hit zywoo. If he had jumped through that smoke, that flash popped, and he was in transition turning into the wall and dodged the flash, that would have been amazing, because he probably would have been offered up both. Of course, knowing how good he is, but of course, it's great to see Heroic alive and well here in the second half. First rifle round comes out, and they bully their way into the B site. Very little resistance. It's an expensive round for Vitality because, again, they chose not to buy too many SMGs last round. I think only 1 MP9 in total. So it'll be another FAMAS buy, but this time not by choice.
Wallbang to try and catch the B play. zywoo on Monster. Oh, focused Cadian. 1 HP left over, and RPK is fed to the wolves in order to satiate zywoo's bloodlust. Masuda in with a helping hand, but zywoo, he sees that bomb. And he tagged up Cadian, and there's this other player tucked into the corner, but that flash was enough to bring bomb back into the control of Borup, so Heroic could just try and peel out of here. Borup's so scared that zywoo's still peeking, but that is not the case. They're relying actually on Shocks here inside of Connector. Imagine a world where he finds them.
Yeah, he's already done so much because he sat listening in front of the smoke, heard no default nades towards A, came downstairs, cleared everything out. Vitality this whole round are relying on Shocks' information, and he's finding the best time to now go for the big flank. This is beautifully played by Shocks.
Definitely allows Vitality to just sit comfortably on site. Masuda with the first one, missed shot by zywoo. And Cadian's able to answer with niko as well. Masuda's FAMAS, though, that has made all of the difference on this B site, and he has a 3K to his name, as Cadian has as many kills as he has HP left over. I mean, 30 seconds, he's not going to go for this. This is Vitality with a 12th, and while zywoo did a good job of setting up shop, it was Masuda who looked most comfortable, but oh my god! They try to go for the gunfight, and Cadian's gonna punish. Now suddenly he feels as though he has a chance. 15 seconds, he just needs the headshot. 1 bullet could make the difference in either direction. And Cadian, he looks the wrong way. Apex tucked in short B closes. Vitality lead by 5, 12 rounds to 7.
Such a common play to make for these French teams, especially anyone with shocks on it to go for the double peek the guy, the last guy left over. But normally that's a post plant play. This is a weird one where the round's not exactly done with, and they gave Cadian a chance to actually get back into it. But either way, Vitality score one back, 3 of 4 in the second half.
Flash, but he hears the footsteps. Shocks decides to stick around. 2 more players, and they're giving him 1v1s, but Testes glocks him. Oh, it's down now. Deagle's right between the eyes of zywoo. His head sent spinning. And RPK still sitting. Back on barrels, he waits.
He saw that through the nade smoke and the door falling apart.
Testes the Terminator.
Prizes here. Well, Shock gets info with the MP9 and stairs, but he comes up a bit shy. Only the 1 kill. Now on Apex and Masuda. Masuda have been great so far this game. 18 and 12.
Really good in these types of moments. These high pressure holds that Apex just set up so nicely. Opening up one with the frag grenade and taking off heads. Masuda right there with him. Now sitting on 20 kills. This is Vitality. Now with a substantial lead and no signs of slowing down. Apex, this frag grenade and the follow-up smoke spam, just beautiful.
Masuda basically ignoring his recoil reset there. Beautiful stuff by him. And yeah, looking like one of his best kind of high pressure performances already. Something like the last 10 maps, he's only gotten over 21 kills, and this game isn't even over.
Start to find ourselves in that, reality where we need a reminder. Heroic, 5 of their 7 in the first 8 rounds of this game. That spree of 5 really looked like they were taking back control, and then Vitality absolutely trumping them thus far. Of course, still 10 rounds to go.
They really have given the keys over to Shocks for these past few rounds. Now that the full rifle is back, and zywoo's holding with him, but he's only sporting the M4. So it'll be curious to see how they play with this, and if it gets read into properly. If Heroic doesn't know, if Heroic believes they're not opping, they're probably going to go for a long control here, but if they go towards bathrooms, it really does power up the rifles. We'll see if they can hold.
It is rifles in position. Shocks hears the movement, makes his play. A 1 and done from Shocks. zywoo and Masuda on the bomb site. That's a lot of firepower. And Heroic have yet to find their easy entry. With the time ticking quickly, it's not going to get any easier either. But bomb is still inside of connector. I mean, I'm smelling a late B hit at this point, and they're going to commit forward. Borup taking that headshot definitely draws the rotators upwards.
They got a plan.
zywoo thinking he's doing a good job, but yeah, it's all down to the B site. Really good mid-round call here from Heroic. It's enough to give them a post plan. 1 kit, 1 flash for the CTs, and they make contact immediately, leaving it on the shoulders of niko. He crawls wide out from Monster. He's going to find one of these players by surprise. Can he manage? No. Apex trades it, and Vitality doubling the score of Heroic at a comfortable 14-7.
Looking to continue their 100% map win streak with a 6 win here versus Heroic on Overpass. And yeah, they're looking strong as ever. It's a great call there from Heroic, but it's of course, somewhat of a gamble. If they had left even 1 player there to stop them on the cross, they could win the round. And they still lose in the post plant, getting only a single kill. Double the round count here for Vitality. Lots of money to work with. 3 Galeals on Heroic. Just to characterize their economic standing. And I think Cadian does op on the T side sometimes, so this should be a concession for him.
Flash over top, looking for a good explode onto the B bomb site. Numbers here for Vitality. Borup already past the pillar, and ooh, he finds Masuda as he falls downwards. Gravity can't save him fast enough. A double entry off of Borup. Absolute confidence in his teammates to kill anybody by those barrels, as he just fixates more so on the second layer of Vitality's defense. That one, all prepared by Cadian on the flashbang. Borup and Tessez with the kills, and Heroic with an 8.
2 of 7 rounds now, and both the rounds they've won have been monster execs. This time's even more confident, even versus a better buy, so nicely done. But they'll need more to the playbook to be able to stage a full comeback, so this is just a nice kind of confidence victory to remind them they've still got it, but they've got a litany of problems left versus Vitality's CT side that they've got to solve. Feels like Shox is so instrumental with the amount of information that he's always gathering. Sometimes taking risks, I mean...
You're not going to be able to rely on just 1 or 2 individuals.
Okay, so based on Heroic's successful game plan, I wonder if we're going to see some kind of fake towards B when they work on something else, or are they just going to forego it? It looks like Stoun's just throwing a nose flash to make it seem like they should throw nades. But they'll be peeking up short, looking for a second kill. It goes 1 for 1. Interesting spot. The CTs can't rotate too easily. They'll have to gamble and run up. But look at this. Heroic quietly coming past the bathrooms and now moving onto the site. They've got a clue as to what's going on.
Absolutely charging in. Perfect read for Heroic. Cadian creating all the space they could possibly ask for. It's cemented with that smoke inside of the bank. Now the Molotov goes down, and think about this. They didn't have to use any of the full bot utility they had to get this A site. So we're just gonna hear that utility continuously popping off as this bomb ticks down and Heroic near their 9th round. No stopping this one. Vitality, they know it. Even with the weapons and 4-on-4, there's nothing they can do in the face of those grenades. So nicely done by Heroic. Again, instantaneously sprinting through those bathrooms, closing that gap, and winning a round in doing so.
There's still hope for Heroic, but again, I wonder if they're going to read into the setup properly, because I don't... They might not know if zywoo is going to have an op on the A site. That's the big question. So... If they know he doesn't, I think they still have a chance of working that bathrooms, going towards long, hitting the site. That might be the easier of the two, or the easiest time to hit A. And we'll see what information they think they have now on this round. If they want to fall back on that pocket strat towards B. Looks like they might. Initial grenades to feign presence, to fake the short B push. This works well when they haven't actually taken it. Shox is pushed up, but he's only got this MP9.
Is he gonna go?
I think they're too aware of this. They're trying to bait the push, right, on A.
Yep. They get it moving upwards, but the short B control with Heroic inside of connector, I mean, this is gonna be a point of contention. And off of that flash, Masuda caught out. You could see him trying to retreat, like they realized exactly what was about to happen. They were getting pinched from multiple directions, and, well, just no way to exit safely. Not when Heroic were already that close.
Looks like they've totally hamstrung Shox's confidence in pushing this round. Clearly making it feel like a fake. I mean, it's good that Shox knows that, but now he doesn't really have a good play. Stuck here top bathrooms. MP9 in hand, looking for a timing versus Tessis, but Tessis is the one to find it.
Yeah. Timing, the emphasis of that engagement. As it could have been had either of them peeked around long earlier. A little dance of death without them knowing they had a partner the whole entire time. Borup, again, that quick space creation, but RPK sprinting out from dumpsters throws a momentary wrench in the works. Course denied as Heroic get to their 10th. Now, in terms of 1v1s or 1vx round wins, we do have Vitality leading 3-2. And obviously 4 more round counts to their name. So we're getting closer.
They're buying late. That was a late call at a spawn. Oh.
Abort.
Yeah, calling.
Abort.
I've got an FPS bug. Okay. They're just going to restart the rounds. No problem. No damage dealt. No controversy this time. That was a really late buy from Vitality. They just kind of put it together, so they're going in with Famas'. I wonder if it makes sense that they're not going for the op. I think that would be the ultimate piece of the puzzle here for their CT side.
Ooh.
Yeah, will they buy in again?
Comes out.
They've got significant grenades. If I'm Vitality, I do go for some control, because if they had called out the short B control from Heroic, they might have had a better chance of actually winning that last round. Giving Heroic a lot of space and not confident about pushing A this time. So yeah, they get into connector.
Immediate connector boost. Yep. Really good counter to what could be, but they decide to drop off of it. Looks like Stan was actually looking for it, and he extends into Masuda, who has now his 21st kill of this first map. Cadian quick on their trail, looking to follow the footsteps. But the Molotov burns him out of his position. He has to forego control. It's Vitality with that 5v4 start.
This is a really tough position here for Heroic. It's a lot of long control in, and now Vitality, they get their claws in, they're feeling a lot better. I think Shox, now that his team has opened up the round on B, is going to feel like he can pull off this push, and it'll be even more unexpected.
Now's the time to do it. The only asterisk is
late.
that bomb carrier. Yep, the late play, and that's the bomb picked up by Shox. Now he's going to try to get out of here. Very real chance he gets caught off on the top of A, and he knows it, so he takes the fight versus Tesses and bests him as well. Shox, not always adding the frags to the scoreboard, but definitely this map has been all over the place, getting the information, and now that he's connecting a couple headshots, it couldn't have come at a better time, Launders. A 15th round very likely, thanks to that mid-round moment by Shox. However, there is a world where he loses this duel versus Cadian, and that bomb carrier could have gotten into the A site where niko has just cleared out zywoo. Shox is going to try to give chase to Cadian, but he's allowed him to escape. So there is still a very slim chance for Heroic to close in a 2 versus 5 to deny that 15th for Vitality. They have 3 players rounding back through middle, and Apex alone back on dumpsters. He's already fired off an entire magazine. I feel like Heroic, they know already that the bigger threat comes in from mid. Cadian seeing a glimmer of a threat, but he drops the shot, and now he knows they're already close. No, he finds nothing. It's all on the shoulders of niko yet again. His attempt at a clutch is good for the first and second as well, but they're on top of the bomb. A 3rd kill for niko, and Shox, well, he doesn't have a defuse, so niko takes the clutch.
I'm completely speechless. Not even a reaction. To defend against match point. This 1v4, the spray transfer on RPK. Masuda's head from a grape to a watermelon in his crosshairs. And it almost gets stuck right before his eyes. I can't believe we just saw that.
And they leave Vitality in such a busted state, man. 4 Desert Eagles, CZ, flashbang. You talked about grapes and watermelons. Well, now they're playing with peanuts. Maybe Shox can work a little magic to at least kick off the round. They line up, and that's pretty substantial damage, but Tesses with an opening kill. Apex is going to try to hit it from the back, and he does have Masuda right there with him, in fact, but the door swings wide, and Borup knocks them out of the park. He also tagged down in this engagement, but it doesn't seem likely that Vitality could close despite the best efforts of the first 3 fraggers, and it goes from bad to worse. This is absolutely a 12th round for Heroic.
Man, that's nuts. It was a huge confidence play early on in that round before niko pulled out that 1v4 for Vitality to go for that push onto short B. The delayed push, even after Heroic delayed a little bit themselves, they tried to be tricky, and even though they got called out, it's a clutch to bring this within 2. It's the T side that's getting back on its feet. It's 5 rounds in a row here for Heroic. The 2-op adjustment, I think this is what we were looking for. Wait, what? The 2 ops are both on A.
Yeah, analyze that.
Yeah. I mean, we know Shox likes that second op, but it's just not often you see this.
They don't want them anywhere near that A site. And you know what? Okay, Heroic oblige. I can't believe neither of those 2 Ts died. Look at their health left over. Masuda in such a pressured position, and you are dead on Mohan. With the double sniper setup, they have no choice but to save.
That's weird.
Not splitting hairs, man, in Monster. Did you see that? Tesses and Borup both taking damage, and they were so lined up in the middle. And then, like, they go through this osmosis phase, and they're on both sides. Bullets all down the mid, no further connection, no death or decay for Heroic until Borup goes down. But Masuda, I mean, at that point, he was so alone.
I think the answer is an op, but one of their only problems right now is that monster rush. It's not really the early rounds out to A. If they shut down the default, it would have looked great, but that's not the first time they actually have lost to a round like that. The save is good. Tessus, he loses his weapon, but look at Heroic's money. I mean, they really don't care. They really don't care. CT timeout would be called. Okay, let's talk about this. They have too much invested to not put something together. Now, I think if we look at Heroic's CT setup, having an op towards Monster, if it's not going to be some kind of explode with the two riflers on the wood wall, that's a terrifying setup to hold with. I don't know if they'll try something like that, but that's an idea. Another is short B push again, because even if they go Monster, if you have short B control, you're in pretty good retake spots. But I think number one op is going to be more than enough to be beneficial to their CT setup, and they don't want to have an op rotating for a retake on B if that's a problem.
Sure.
Whoa, they don't invest behind this. I'm kind of surprised. I know they didn't have enough money for good rifles, but it's just such an, like, are they going to be able to see another op buy?
P90 on the front. That's a sprint in from the SMG, and RPK with the P250 hot swap out with the MP9. niko, 2 kills on him. And Masuda's back over behind barrels, but Heroic, after that immediate clash straight out the gates, they pause, they cool off. The P90 unsuccessful, but it doesn't mean Heroic won't be.
Okay, this utility that Heroic have is everything. They know that they're going up against 2 ops in a mid round with a minute 15 to go. They need to clutch onto these grenades and use them with conviction, very carefully. Don't just throw them just in case. If they get off, they lose. They get the bomb down, there's a high chance they win. So Cadian looking for a mistake to be made, laying out this early part to the round to see if Vitality are going to try to recollect information. But this is the strength now. zywoo back on the site. His biggest risk is jump spotting and getting offed by Cadian, and I think that's a worthwhile risk to take. A surprise to see this, though. Whoa, he's actually moved in towards B. Borup, he hasn't made a sound, and he's walking over to the A site. Oh my god.
Another call like this? I mean, we've seen Heroic with the inverse. Last minute A to B rotate. Got that bomb down once before. Heroic, another perfect mid-round call. And this one to tie it all. Once more, those 2 snipers on a retake? I think not. Damn. And so despite the best efforts of RPK, that awesome P250 start to the round, the flashes were fantastic. He completely turned Heroic's head around, and it's still not enough. However, the silver lining, Mo, they're going to keep those snipers for the 29th round.
I think they thought that no chance that it's going to be an A hit because we have these ops. And then, of course, they save these again to try again. So I think they saw a double benefit. This is an... Yeah, it's such a brave call for Heroic to make to go back to A in this situation. But... holy man, it was the correct one. I'm just kind of surprised because I feel like, and we'll see, hold on. Oh, Borup looking to take down some of the operas, and he does actually grab one. That is an enormous tag to get. The round 29, and they can buy another one if they want to, but I don't know, man. Like,
he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Shocks grabs the Colt.
Just right. One is enough. Even on that round, I would have let zywoo work A by himself. I feel like he could have actually been reasonably held onto the A site, and they had a good setup on B2.
Listen, it's round 29, and somebody's securing overtime at least. Awesome clawback from Heroic. To think they won 5 rounds in a row in that first half, and then they went silent, losing out so many. This, of course, now being 7 in a row. From 14-7 to 14-all. And no sign of stutters. Little long-range wall-bang duel. Shaving away the HP of Heroic before they really get anything going. And to be honest, all they have is this B site.
They do the same setup again. I mean, double wood wall is really strong. I'm not against it. It just hasn't worked for Vitality. And they have low grenades.
Almost worked last round. Almost. Now it has to. Incendiary in the hand of RPK. Smoke begins to fade. Utility over the top. That's a double Maulian monster. They cannot afford to run through it. My God! Look at the damage, even as they retreat. Fire at their feet. Flames engulfed to the knees. And nearly 3 kills off of it. Now RPK happy to just pump some rounds down range. 20 seconds remain here for Heroic. Does it finally stick for Vitality? Masuda getting one, and they all line up for RPK, but Tessa somehow with a double headshot entry. No. Oh, it was a team kill in the mix of it all. This gets awkward, it gets weird, and niko dying. It's cleared by Vitality as they find their 15th.
Molly from Apex lands in the tunnel. Key timing as their nades come out. He gets blind, but he gets to throw it before he does. And that's all it takes. They have to pull back off that. I don't know why the commitment didn't come through. I mean, surely they were in a difficult situation. Did no one have a smoke for that Molotov? It would have been messy, but it wouldn't have been as messy as that.
And zywoo now. We've seen him kind of somewhat chained in bathrooms on A, now up in the party. Looking to hammer the nail into the coffin, but Cadian not yet stopping. A lineup for RPK, nearly good for 2. It's Masuda to trade one off long. And a man advantage here for Heroic. niko now losing that out to Shox and Connector, but Stown has this Connector door closed. Test. Oh, he finds him blindsided. It's a 1 versus 1. Either overtime or overpass victory for Vitality.
Take a risk. Apex gonna hear the nades. Don't know if he hears the walking, but anything could be a gamble. Clock is in the favor of Tasses. Can really do what he wants. Nades here for Apex, but down to 66 HP. Thinking about going towards A, it's the right read. They'll be patient. This bomb gets planted. It's Tasses' round to lose.
Check out Tasses. Alone in the dark. Both in the server and in his bedroom. The pressure behind Apex as he can feel the eyes of his entire team. He's tasked to close with the clutch. Molotov, flashbang, frag grenade on him. If he blocks off bank, that's huge. Because I don't believe this bomb is planted for Tasses at all. But he does have a molly of his own. He hears Apex stampeding around, buys not for the peak, and there you have it. Heroic able to eat. After a 14-7 scoreline posted by Vitality, Heroic roping it all the way back. This is only the first map of a best-of-5 grand finals, and it's already delivered. niko's incredible ace leaves him at 24 kills for Heroic. And now we have to fixate into the first overtime. 19 the magic number, 18 for double OT. 3-man stack up. Look at this. They're gonna walk right into it. Cadian actually besting zywoo, but RPK with 2 and Masuda the 3rd.
Insane confidence here from Vitality. We just saw them blow an entire lead due to these monster execs, and they go for a 4-prong setup on A. How are Heroic supposed to read into that? They try to change it up. Vitality are right on their toes.
niko heard that fall back. There's nobody there. Vitality doing Heroic a favor, giving them back their bomb.
And you see the nerves in this match. niko 1v4 at round 26 when things just look dire for Heroic. And then we have round 29, Heroic. They flub that monster exec, running through a molly, running back through it, canceling after taking almost 200 damage, and then falling completely flat.
"30 seconds for Stown to play this out. Masuda getting closer to the connector door in case he goes downwards.
This will already be Vitality's greatest test here in the last 5 maps. in their streak so far. And Heroic with a chance to actually rip the lead away.
But here's Apex. Dead to rights. Stown's going to drop back down the ladder. Op actually picked up here by Apex. So that's to be thrown over to zywoo, who got smoked by Cadian on party, may I add. But RPK there to pick up the pieces, and then Masuda lending his helping hand. Looked like RPK could have done it all on his own, in fact. That third kill nearly lined up. But you never say no to a helping hand. Teamwork makes the dream work. Vitality making OT work for now. 16-15. They started off well to the CT side. Frag grenades exchanged to the better of Vitality. My goodness. However, zywoo gonna have to... Oh! He gets the collateral through the head of Borup. That is just ridiculous. Over the boulder. Borup bested. niko gonna be added to the pile of corpses if Shox has his way. But it's a bit of a fight back. Again, the bomb will be retrieved. However, 2v4.
What is happening? CTs, they thought they had total control of it, and now they're scrambling. They don't want to think about the B side, so they're hoping that it somehow rocks it back this way, but the cavalry on the CT side is starting to go for the march down the stairs potentially to make sure that they're in rotatable spots, but B side is wide open for the meantime. Early this meets at a player watching the cross from short from stairs.
Ooh, depends. If they go out connector, chance to find them outside monster, but if they wrap all the way around, yeah, long con,
You're
baby.
leaving niko alive in a 2v4, have you learned nothing?
Fool me once. But niko looking to make fools of them twice. Of course, Apex, however, spots it already. Yep. Now he's going to take the knife out, close that gap, sees them crawling inwards, and Stown never had a damn chance. niko, another 1v4 ace attempt. He sees the player short, executes the first, but Masuda too hot on the draw. And the trade connects for Vitality, a 2-0 start to this CT overtime.
Completely stuffed at the station trying to get out on this default. Of course, it's, oh my god, stacking the heads up.
Like pumpkins.
Like pumpkins. Jack-o'-lanterns. They've been carved out.
Oh, and the limitations here as well. Check out Heroic, double tech 9. This kind of stinks of desperation heading out into the early B play. I think Vitality reading it like a book. 4 members on the site stack, and Shox and Connector comfortably tucked into position. I mean, for them to even get out of a B play, they'd have to redirect through spawn, but the perfect timing from Borup. Cadian's flash blinds them on short, and he barrels into that bomb site with nobody to stop him. But Apex in from the heavens, looking for the second, can't quite manage the spray. Shox is gonna have to 1v3. Heroic have found an opening on their T side in OT. It was looking like the perfect play from Vitality, but Heroic slip in the timing, and they will take at least one as they swap over to the defense.
We don't know what happens on this side, man. These halves have been tight. We can just see the nerves coming in that second half, but not for Borup. He's calm. The double entry. And to be fair to Heroic, that's something new, man. They have not full exec up short like that, so they don't respond to the molly in short B, and they don't throw any counter utility to let them know the default is leading that way. They gamble on silence, and then contact explode.
Off fight.
Oh.
Ooh, Masuda's getting wall banged. niko, he connects the damage. Tesses reacts to it accordingly. Now what?
Is always the play that's coming out these days. Just a late, long lurker who can walk up so far and try to catch timing, but it's right into the op of Stown. He rotates in at the perfect moment. 2-on-5. And Tess is still in connector by himself.
Doing what he does. Oh. Okay. Shoxy. Another 2v4. This time, it's loaded in the barrel of Vitality, but is it a dud?
I love how Stown just stayed peaked that entire time. Apex tried to show bomb and looked like he was committing and now actually is.
Getting all the closer. Now looking to round that final corner. It's down. A bit of noise here. Flash out from Katie. And this is 2 snipers actually on the A site. So, I mean, not the worst position for Vitality. They're within close proximity, but there's also that flank to think about. No reason at all for Borup to come from behind, but Apex does clear out Katie, and there's Shocks with one. An actual 2v4 attempt starting to unfold here for Vitality. Down, gonna crank the dial, runs inwards with the sidearm. It's Shocks in the clutch, and this is what he's made for. Falls back, 100 HP to his name, no utility, but it's him versus niko. Further damage into Stown, and the CTs start to stack up. Shocks tucked back by the flowers. One more, one shot. Oh, 4K from Shocksy.
One of the most clutch players in the game, some of the best 1v1 statistics. Trying to climb with the 1v2s as well. Insane the 2v5 plus the extra 2 kills, 4K in total. Shutting down all the rotates.
Damn.
So marvelously played, just toying with his foods down, dropping shots. You can see the nerves are setting in, man. Those aren't shots you missed in the first few rounds.
Such a nuisance as well from Shocks, just tucking back time again, but then peeking just slightly. You know, never committing in order to guarantee a kill. Just flirting with it, floating with it, as Shocksy does. A man of allure, and Down able to blow him to smithereens here. Action-packed adventure down on this B site. Just a total clash of utility and gunfire. And for the moment, it's Heroic to come out on top. Ooh, even further as Apex gets tagged to 67, retreats with the entirety of his team, Vitality back towards Fountain.
Does feel like a LAN match. We had Device talk about how he misses LAN because people make more mistakes. These two teams are clearly understand the circumstances of this kind of rematch. We definitely see them not look like themselves a little bit in a charming way. Air.
Yeah. Oh, Cadian so susceptible, but Apex walks by.
Oh my god. Our last round 2v5, man.
They should be so well aware of this. I mean, Tessa's playing accordingly, but that pays off. Now the idea of this long A play has to be in the minds of Heroic. 20 seconds. Pressures on Borup and the Bathrooms man in Tesses, who's trying to come back into the action. Cadian with a collateral. zywoo with an attempt to clutch this. He's going to go ahead and plant bomb. Has to. They're going to push him out from dumpster. He knows it, but there's nothing he can do. niko closes. Heroic, one more in OT to push us into double overtime.
We'll see what happens. This potential here for Heroic. There's nothing based on what we've seen. There's nothing to tell us that there's, you know, Heroic don't know their way around the CT side as well as Vitality do T. They're going to invest. I don't know if we're going to see an op in this situation. Every single player above 20 kills now in this game.
Hell yeah. That's what you want, man. Look at the kill differential, actually, now that you say that. Just enjoy those numbers, everyone. All 10 players showing up for our finals. And Tesses looking to keep this first map alive. We know he plays this position, and Apex Headhunter smashes his glasses.
This again, they're using niko at A this time around. This is something I feel like new that they're doing on these A setups, but do they call it out? Apex was the one to die to him the last time they tried it, and now they're moving into a monster exec. Listen, the flanks are coming, but they might be aware of it. It still is going to be bad for Heroic if it ends up in B. But does B stand for Borup?
Vitality could just swarm this. Cadian's gonna lay down that grenade. Decent damage. Connects the first op shot. Borup yet to fire. Now he rattles off some rounds. Cadian with a second, looking for the third, but he misses that close flick. It's a man advantage in for Vitality. They are shooting to close map 1. A comeback that gives Heroic a chance here in overtime. Looking like this could have been over ages ago. And Vitality now 1 kill away from making it happen. Youngstown walking in, finding Masuda inside of the smoke, Molotoving off the short player, which gives him a chance to kill zywoo. With 5 HP, he remains, but now he's slain, and 12 health for Stown. Focusing on short, he taps that bomb. The monster walkout meant to close, but a missed shot gives Stown a second chance. He chases, and he doesn't find it. Time now of the essence. Shoxy's done enough. Heroic will desperately try to defuse, but it's over. Overpass in the back pocket of the Frenchman.